Welcome back to Two Girls, One Bong.
The podcast that's better if you're stoned, and if you're not, I'm just going to shit rainbows into your mouth. My name is Mac Dizzle.
And I'm Joya. Let's dive on in.
Let's dive on in.
It's funny because it rotates each week from like something that you are like, oh shoot, I need to be stoned or else Mac Dizzle's really going to hurt me. Or, you know, like today, there's a, oh my God, I'm not going to be stoned, so Mac Dizzle could shit rainbows into my mouth. Is that what you said?
Is that what people want?
I mean,
if that's what the people want, I'll give the people what they want.
And I think you should. Because
how does one obtain rainbow shit? What kind of foods do I need to eat in order to make that happen?
Probably something plastic, I'd say.
I would be
probably
eating some
a plastic
glitter
rainbow.
for sure. Definitely eating some glitter.
Oh my God, could you imagine glitter going through your like intestines?
Oh my God, just like imagine like how much would get left over and then like how pretty they would be when you died.
Sparkly intestines. Oh my
like
God, look at her.
They find your body like thousands of years later and they're like, we're not sure what this is, but we do believe she was a deity.
Yes, she was a god. At the
Because
very least, she was a bad bitch, to be clear. That's pretty funny.
Well, hello guys, we are back. I am so sorry for the break in content. As you know, life comes at you fast, and you know.
As yes, it does. Yeah.
So we've been dealing with some dramiana off screen, but things are kind of settling down and doing much better now.
There's some drama right here behind me. This is the drama in my life.
Love. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So for those of you who don't know, you should know. I'm pretty sure the people who are listening to this podcast at the very least follow us on Instagram. But, you know, if you did miss it, Joya had a bit of an incident with her dogs, and I'll just let you take it away from here. I'm going to pack a bowl while you talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, a bit of an incident is definitely one way to describe it. Well, most people, I think, would know also that we've been struggling with Remy's behavioral issues since shortly after we got her. For a long time, it was just her fighting with Cash, which is like annoying, but not dangerous per se.
Or not
because Cash
threatening in the same way that
that's a good
is,
yeah.
You know?
Because he definitely there is some scratches and some little teeth marks.
No, they can definitely hurt each other still. It's just less likely to end in death. Right. You know.
So, I don't know when she started showing aggression towards Frankie, who is 9 pounds. But at some point she started showing aggression towards Frankie, and so we've been dealing with that for a while.
It's in sorry, just to cut you off. It's like only in very specific instances. She is a resource guarder, and she treats peoples as resources. She treats food as a resource. So that's kind of where this is coming from.
We don't have to deal much with the food guarding because there's no, I mean, that's a really easy one for me to control.
Yeah.
So we don't do, but you know what's funny is that when everybody's eating a treat, 9 times out of 10, everybody's respectful.
Interesting.
So it's really weird because what I do when I'm giving them treats is I say their name, and when I say their name, the other 2 dogs will back off for a second, whoever it is. So, but yeah, with the food guarding, it's easy for me to control. We don't, all the dogs eat at a separate place in the house. We never leave anything out anymore for them to get to. We learned those lessons. But yeah, the big thing is that Remy guards people. So we've had a few, and Mac Dizzle can attest to, we had 2 incidents when she was in town where she was just giving the dogs love, the 2 big dogs, and they got into a fight over it, which was just crazy. Over Mac Dizzle, literally. Yeah. So there was no food or toy or anything. It was they were fighting over her, and that was Cash and Remy. So and it's funny because I was joking with Mac Dizzle, like Cash was ready to go to war for her. Like he doesn't fight back in a lot of times because he doesn't care as much as Remy does. But there are times where he's like, oh no, yeah, bitch, we're going for it. This is it. So, and that happened twice when Mac Dizzle was in town. So that's just an example of like the way Remy guards people. And so actually this just made me think of this. Like a month ago, maybe a little more, there was somebody walking in my behind my yard,
Oh,
my
like
backyard.
behind the gate.
Yes, so they're walking like behind the houses. And this guy had a dog with him. It was a guy and his dog. And all three of my dogs are freaking the fuck out. Like they're all fucking going insane.
Yeah.
And Remy like went at Frankie in that moment. Yeah. And it wasn't bad. It was like for just a second. What?
That is super interesting because I have experience. So Zaza is starting to do this weird thing only when Rajul comes home. When Rajul comes home and all the dogs are excited, she'll go, rah, 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 and like,
yeah, everybody calm down.
Like, just like check them. And I'm like, well, first of all, who the fuck do you think you are? You just got here.
You literally, you're brand new, bitch. You're brand fucking new.
You're the youngest. Shut up.
And you're not the biggest. If only Doobie knew his strength, he could just he could check her in one fucking one instance. But
but I am very lucky to have Doobie, who's super docile and just doesn't react in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But my fear is that one day she's gonna try to do it to Indica, and Indica does not play.
No, she does not.
Yeah.
No, she does not.
Bringing in an additional dog into your home when you already have animals is a very complex and difficult thing to do sometimes, especially for people like me and Joya who have reactive dogs,
Mm-hmm. It's just big dogs. Thank you. Yeah. I was just going to say when you have big dogs too, when they can really inflict harm on one another. But yeah, so that just made me think of that situation when they were outside and Remy went at Frankie because somebody was walking by, and it was so embarrassing for me in that moment because I'm like standing there like I'm trying to wrangle my dogs.
Yeah.
And Remy freaking went at Frankie, and I'm like, oh my God, like
I swear
in front of this stranger. Yeah, I'm like, I just have a psycho dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's people. That's the biggest thing, and it's the hardest to control.
Yeah.
Right. So so basically a few weeks ago, Adam and I went to go watch a game somewhere. It was a Monday night, so we went to go watch a football game somewhere. And we were coming back, and this has happened before right when we got home, we heard Frankie cry from inside. But every other time, probably happened 2 other times. And both of those times, it was just like a little, like just one little like, ah. Mm-hmm. But this time, it was like a consistent, like a 10-second. Yes. Like a 10-second. Yes. And it maybe even been more than maybe 15 seconds, which doesn't sound like very long, but
she was definitely trying to communicate that she was in pain.
Yes. And it was like prolonged.
Yeah.
It was not like, she bit me. It was like, oh my God,
holy
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we come inside. Adam ran inside. And this is also, I forgot to say that when we got home, we opened up the garage door to go through the garage.
So they heard it through the garage door.
So they heard the garage door open, and everybody was crowding at the garage door, which we know that was like the scene of the crime because there was 2 like blood piles there. I know. And it was like, they're like, it's like that much, but it's like Frankie's little, and I guess
that's like,
if
I
you're
don't know,
not
like
watching
30% of her blood. She's so small.
She's so teeny. So we saw when we came in, and I don't know why we ended up going through the front door instead of the garage, but we did. And there was blood on the floor. So I actually saw like a little piece of poop. It was like this tiny little piece of poop.
She was
and I was like, oh my God. Well, yeah. I'm like, dang it. And then we saw the blood drops, and it was like there was a trail of blood throughout my whole house, and we knew it was Frankie because the other 2 dogs were fine. And so we couldn't find her. We couldn't find her anywhere. And all the doors are shut. We shut all the doors when we leave. So she's not in any rooms. She's not in the bathroom. But we couldn't fucking find her. And so I literally had to follow the blood trail to where she was, which was nestled in between my couch and the ottoman which was just a small little space for that only she could get into. The big dogs definitely could not get in there. So when I found her, she had lots of blood on her 2 front legs and a severe wound on her neck that I could see. And it was about, I've been saying like 2 quarters sized, which I was like, holy fucking.
I mean, she's 2 inches long. That's like the full length of her neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys need to keep in mind that this is a very small dog. She's 9 pounds. Like tiny little.
She is a little baby,
Chihuahua sized.
Yeah. Gosh, you should have seen her. Well, Mac Dizzle saw her, but all you listeners should have seen her when she was like a little baby puppy. She was so cute.
She's still so cute, but
I know she is.
She was just like a little nugget.
And also, everybody at the vet office like totally loves her, and it's so funny. But yeah, so I find her. She's really bloody. She has that wound on her neck. So we like wrapped her in a towel. Because she's all fucking bloody, and we went to the nearest
Put some
vet.
pressure on it, try to.
Yeah, exactly. So we found the first vet we started heading towards was 40 minutes away. We're like, oh, we can't go there.
It's hard
so
to find
we found one.
Vets, bro.
Right. So we found one that was only like 20 minutes away. And my poor baby was, when we were like in the car, she was just still, like not moving, like just in shock. Like has no fucking idea what just happened. And I was like, I mean, she was still breathing, but she was just
injured. Like you could tell that she was definitely injured, and she was like,
hurting.
I cannot move or I will die. You know what I mean? Like she was probably very aware of her mortality in that moment, and she knew that you were going to take care of her. She said, all right, I'm good. Mom and Dad are here. Me now.
Yeah.
Just don't have to do anything. I'm not excited to be in the car. I'm dying. Like that was probably, I don't know what dogs think, but I can only imagine what was going through that tiny little brain.
I mean, they're animals, so they definitely know, like, and she knows the danger that she's in. Yeah. She knows, like, she doesn't go, like, when the door opens, she does not run outside. Yeah. Like she knows that she cannot fucking, she knows that she relies on us. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Which is, it's been kind of frustrating because with Remy, Frankie is not as afraid of her, has traditionally has not been as afraid of her as I would want her to be. Like sometimes she'll like
respect her space a little bit more.
Yes, exactly. So sometimes Frankie will be like up in her face, and we know that she, can't.
She doesn't do well with those kinds of interactions.
Right. I'm like, girl, don't you know? I'm sorry, but Remy is the alpha now. That's just, there's nothing we can do about it. Remy wants to be the boss, and she has to because she can really fucking hurt you.
Yeah.
So that's something we've also been wrestling with. Like, even if we get Remy all of the training in the world, which I would love to be able to fix her behavioral problems. She knows.
I see her. She's being a cutie behind you.
But then I'm like, then we also have to make sure that Frankie respects her in the way that she needs to, which I think it's different now because
a clear line in the sand has been drawn.
Like for the first, like, however long it's been, Frankie has definitely, we've just been keeping them separate. They have not had any interaction besides a couple mess ups, which I will talk about in a second. But
finish your story though. So
when we got to the vet. So they told us, the vet tech seemed super cool and collected when we got there. She's like, okay, so we have some injuries on the neck. Let me take a look at her and we'll figure out where to go from there. So we're like, okay. So we're like, we take a breath. Like, we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
they're trained to be that like nice and chill though,
Right. So then same girl comes into a room that we're waiting in, and she's like, look, she's really small. Her blood pressure is very low. Her blood pressure was high and her heart rate was very low. So she's like, we can't do anything on her until we stabilize her. And even if we can stabilize her, she has to go in for an emergency surgery tonight, if we can, if we're able to. But she was very like, yeah, girl, I don't know. She literally said like it's not looking good.
What you need to understand though is a lot of people, when these kinds of things happen to their pets and it's a big financial burden like what you just endured, they don't do it. They don't have the community or the resources or the savings accounts, you know, that we have. So a lot of times, like I remember going into my vet's office and I came in for a checkup with my cat, left with no cat. Like it's just those decisions happen so quickly, and I think they're just like so used to like, because like it was like literally like we have to put a feeding tube in her neck. We're not sure if it's gonna fix it. She has like a crazy pancreatic disease, liver disease. She basically, my cat stopped eating for months and lost almost all of her body weight, and I like took her to the vet after vet just trying to fix it, and finally they were just like, look, we have to put a feeding tube in her neck if you want her to live, and she's not going to understand it. It's going to be a pretty low quality of life. Like the way that they sold it to me, I was just like, why the fuck would I ever make an animal endure that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think she is probably trying to do something for her own mental when she was saying that to you. You know, when she was like, it's not looking great. She might have been like preparing herself to have to put this dog down, you know?
Yeah. I mean, well, she could have been a little more sensitive because we took this breath when we came in, and then immediately within 10 minutes it was like, your dog is like probably gonna die.
But
like,
she wants to be realistic and manage your expectations. It's better for her to have the better side of it than she's like, oh, we're gonna take care of her, don't worry, and then something bad happens, you know?
Well, yeah, but even so, like the doctor came in a little bit later and was like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna go into surgery tonight. She's stable, like we're like, you guys are good. There's a long way to go, long road to recovery, but like we're moving on to the next step. Like she was very matter of fact while still being like, this is what we're doing and we're gonna do everything that we can.
Yeah.
So I just had an emotional reaction to the first girl, and we never had to deal with her again, thank God. But I was like, we come in, we're freaking the fuck out. She's like, okay, let me take her. I see a little bit of blood.
Would it be better if she had been like panicked when you came in?
No, but I feel like she gave us this like,
I think her
security that wasn't there.
She didn't know the situation. I think she was like, all right, this is what I can see. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend this girl. I wasn't there, you know?
Yeah.
I just know that sometimes people just react certain ways.
Well, the thing is, everybody else that we've dealt with has been very like, yeah. She was the only one.
It might have been a bad day for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it was a bad day for me too, girl. My dog almost died.
Was.
So they got her she went in for the first surgery, and that was, so basically we found out that it wasn't just the top wound on her neck. It was also a wound right on the bottom of her neck. For those of you who aren't watching, it's like just right next to her trachea, not in the middle, but just right off to the side. So the first surgery was to like sew those up. They had to like chop off some fucking flesh because it was like hanging off.
Just mangled and probably swollen too.
Yeah. And so that was a big thing. Her neck started swelling, and so it was hard for her to breathe. The doctor had to put his finger down her throat so that she could like to open up her, so that she could breathe. That was like in the first 2 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But so she was on the antibiotics and the swelling went down, which is great. But so today she's actually in a surgery to sew up the wound on the top of her neck, which is so gnarly. I saw a photo of it and I was like, oh my fucking God, that is on my little tiny dog. It was like, it's
like the
huge.
size of like a orange almost. It's like a tangerine. A big
it's not
tangerine.
It's not in like
it's
a perfect
oval,
shape.
Though.
Yeah, it's not in like a perfect shape. So it's like, but it is freaking, I mean, maybe like this. Like it's big for her
like
tiny
a
little
chunk
neck.
Almost got taken out, basically.
Oh, that's exactly what it looks like. Like it is like, it looks like somebody like took a little knife and cut into this shape and then took the flesh off.
That's actually what they might have done in the
off.
first surgery.
They were definitely taking
mangled, so they just cleaned up the wound a little bit, you know? Oh my God, that poor girl.
I know. But it's crazy because like in the last few days, like her personality is back.
Yeah.
Like she is jumping, running around, doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. And so
trauma.
Also that,
what's that?
Right. And so that's what I was going to say too, because so a couple weeks ago, we had shortly after the incident, like 5 days after the incident, I had a moment where I left my door open to my bedroom and Frankie was in my closet. I have one of those like go through the bedroom, through the bathroom, then to the closet. So I left the door open by accident. I had a friend in my bathroom, so she was able to intercept Remy after she came in, because Remy came in. She was able to stop her, turn her around, but Frankie saw her before that happened, and Frankie was fucking scared shitless. She was so scared. She was like a completely different dog the rest of the night. So that was like, I was like, okay, wow, we're definitely going to have to keep them separate, you know, forever. If
she stays.
Right. So yesterday, Frankie was in my office in this chair right here. And I left the door open again like a fucking dumbass. I was just like grabbing something from the bathroom or something. And Remy came in and she didn't go up to her or anything, but Frankie didn't even lift her head up. She was not on alert. She wasn't like, oh my God, she's going to kill me, you know? So in that moment, I was like, okay, so as long as Frankie is not absolutely fucking terrified of her, I think that we may have some
path to reinserting them together, possibly. And first of all, let me just stop you real quick. Anyone who has opinions in the comments and they're negative, I'm going to give you this really wholesome opportunity to fucking save it. Okay? This is a very tough decision to make. There are a lot of different factors in play, and we are weighing all options, all right? Nothing has been done and said. When this initially happened, we were like, she has to find a new home instantly. That is obviously what the plan was. We needed to find a new home for Remy, and that was what the initial plan was. But as things develop and things change, different ideas are being floated. So save your negativeness. We are fully abundantly aware of the risk of keeping the dog in the home. You don't need to be like, but what if it happens again? Oh my God, we didn't think that. What?
Right.
Oh, you're right. Like, it could happen again. No shit. Thank you. We're so fucking aware.
Everybody likes to give their fucking, it's especially something that's so personal. I'm like, dude, I'm the one that had to fucking see my dog bleeding out.
You had blood
I'm the one that
your body.
Yeah. I had, dude, safe. All over my chest and face. I literally had her blood on me. Like, what the fuck?
She called me just in tears at like 9 p.m. Like, this was a traumatic event. We don't need you guys fucking speculating on what we should or should not do. Thank you.
Oh my God. I was freaking the fuck out, dude. But also somebody mentioned to me that I forgot really about is that the use of a muzzle. So we do have a muzzle for Remy. We have two actually. One of them because I thought the one was too small. So I literally have two different muzzles for her. And she got used to them the last time that we had to use them when she was going to training. So having her with the muzzle on around Frankie is something that I am not opposed to. As long as Frankie doesn't have that anxiety. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. As long as Frankie's chill with it.
Exactly. If Frankie is comfortable and Frankie is not terrified, because I saw the way she was shortly after the incident. And also there was one time where Frankie was in my bedroom and Remy was outside the door sniffing. I think I told you this, right? Yeah. And Frankie was like just tense and did not take her eyes off the door. She was just staring over there like, is she going to get in here? But then when we had her around Cash later on, that's why I was really happy to see that she doesn't have that energy towards Cash whatsoever. She knows that Cash is never going to hurt her. So she's way more comfortable around him. So yeah, they've been integrated since shortly after
years and years and years.
Like, well, yeah, and I meant like reintegrated like after the incident. So they both sleep in our room. Remy hasn't even really been like in our room because it's mostly Frankie's domain now, and so it's kind of sad.
And that's fair, and that just might have to be how it is. You know?
And the other thing is too, Remy is the only dog that will go in the crate and be a good girl about it and stay in there for as long as she has to. And the other dog, Cash, I mean, not that we need to, but just in general, Cash fucking hates a crate. He like literally, oh my God, do you remember when you brought Doobie over? Oh my God. So Cash was kind of mean to Doobie. Cash was mean to Doobie. I think, well, I figured out that Cash does not like dogs bigger than him. Any small dog, any dog his size or smaller, good to go. Unless it's which is interesting because Doobie's very docile, but I seriously have a theory that he knows that him and Indica are brother and sister.
I don't know. It might be a me thing. Like he might associate animals that I bring with that incident. Maybe. Because if y'all don't know, my dog beat the shit out of her dog once.
Oh, for days in a row.
He kept going after it though. Like,
I don't get it
what
either.
His problem was.
But then after the final one, that was it. There was no more. So, but yeah, Indica just punked the shit out of Cash.
I had to actually like body slam the dog. I mean, you think I'm joking and I'm exaggerating? I am not joking, nor am I exaggerating.
She literally dove. Yeah,
my elbow down onto her neck. I was not playing games. There's no dogs are dying in this house today.
And that's the thing too. Indica will she'll fucking keep going.
Go until they're dead.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that is the situation. If we are able to figure out a way to keep Remy, I would absolutely love to. But if it doesn't, if it doesn't work out, I am going to make sure that she goes to the best possible home. And there's just two things that are definitely not going to happen. And she's not going to be put down and she's not going to go to the shelter. So whatever does happen with her,
worries, let those aside.
Those are definitely not.
Those are the number one things that whenever we adopt an animal, like that is our deal with God and the universe. Like I will keep this animal alive and safe for as long as I am humanly capable. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we're not sending her back anywhere. She is going to be safe and happy regardless of what her journey is. But right now we are trying. I keep saying we as if like
no, it's a joint effort. It is. Thank you. I love you so much because seriously, you've been so supportive.
I'm like fully invested. No. Our family needs some time to heal.
It is a we thing though.
But on that note, we're about halfway through. I have a bowl packed. I would love to smoke some weed with you.
Fuck yeah. I have some weed ground up, so I'm almost there.
Love it. Love to hear it. Everyone, I'm sure there's some people here who donated to the GoFundMe or shared the GoFundMe, and I just want to reach out and say thank you guys so much. You were part of the reason Remy is alive today. Obviously,
Frankie.
If y'all didn't come through like that, we would have figured it out. But like, holy shit, you alleviated so much just stress from the situation just by showing up that way. So bottom of our hearts.
I cannot say thank you enough. That was like the most like because we thought she was gonna fucking die. And so in that headspace, like, oh my fucking God, my dog is going to die. My first baby that I've had since I was 21.
Yeah.
Like just my little freaking baby girl. We were both kids. But and then to find out they're like, okay, well, she's probably gonna live, but it's gonna cost you,
but $10,000. It's gonna cost you. Like that's it.
So
she can live if you have $12,000.
Literally. So thank you all so much.
Just secondarily too, like just to see the community rally around you, like that was just so powerful to see, like how many people truly just like fucking care. Our hearts were it wasn't even my situation, but I'm like sitting here feeling all the warmth from it. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, dude, that was like that was such a incredible feeling to have like so many people like have my back in that moment and have Frankie's back. Like, oh my God, just a really comforting feeling after feeling like, oh my God, like, and you know what? It's really, after my mom died, I have been like, what? There's going to be more pain, you know?
Yes.
It's just like life. Like,
Inevitable.
there's going to be, and I've just been like, you know, like, it just gives me anxiety because I'm like, what's the next thing that's gonna just fuck me up? And like, in that moment, I was like, dude, too early. Okay, like I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Please. And so I'm just like, yeah, I'm so grateful that she fucking made it happen. Also, you know what I realized I haven't shared before is that Frankie is an Aries. And she was not going down without a fucking fight.
Literally. Yes. When you called me that night, you told me the situation, and I was terrified. I had no idea what was going to happen to your poor little angel, but I lied to you. I said, she's going to be fine.
Bitch, I could hear it in your voice.
I said, she's
You were like, no, this is fine. She's going to be fine. I know it.
Good. I feel it. I know it. She's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as we found out she was stabilized, I was like, it's done. She's good. She's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But also,
God.
I need you to know, Joya, for whatever this next trauma that you face, you have gone through one of the hardest things that any person can go through. Like, that's something I've never even had to endure yet. And so just know that you do have the
capacity,
not only the capacity, but like the tools and the support system to handle quite literally anything. You know, one of the worst things that could ever happen has already happened.
I think you can only go up from here.
Like, you're here,
really,
you're alive.
I know. So definitely. And I have thought that, because I'm like, that was like, whoa, world upside down.
No, that's
literally
like
what the fuck happened. Very much
trauma.
so. Oh, my life is in 2 acts now. It's the one before and the one after. So, but I definitely, it's what are you doing?
Just being cute.
Just
sniffing your bongs.
Oh, she's gonna lay on the boobs.
She said, wait.
She's sniffing the boobs. Oh my God, if you're not watching right now, I'm so sorry. Do you see how she just looked over at us?
I kind of want her to bite one. Oh, come on, get it.
Oh, what a cute girlie.
Snuggled on the tits.
Oh. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm gonna take a picture. Hold on.
And that's the thing about Remy too, is she is such a good girl when there's no other animals around.
Dude, it's crazy too, because I've also, like, Adam and I were talking, I think I told you this on the phone, that like the bitch looks fucking insane in photos. She looks fucking crazy, and she looks mean. And you know what? She does have some mean bones in her body. I don't know how many, but there are some. But with people, she is so sweet and so affectionate, and she just has such a special personality. And it's like, it's kind of like, when you, like, she's like my I don't want to say like special needs, but that really is, for lack of a better term, she just needs more attention in different ways than the other dogs. And so it's a
special love, honestly, truly.
Yes. And that's what people that are like, why would you like just crate and rotate, just keep her and freaking deal with it? And I'm like, you think I want to give her to someone? You think I don't want to have the relationship that I have with her that is so like special? And every one of the dogs, every relationship you have with every animal is special.
No, but Remy is like a different kind of special, because like literally every time I spend the night at your house, she's in the bed with me. Like, she's like the ambassador to guests. She really is.
Yes, she very much is. So anyway, bong rip.
Yes, please. Gorgeous. Love a bong rip. Everyone out there, get your bong rips ready.
Yeah, bitch. You ready? Oh, you're ready.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Oh,
Cheers.
yeah. Okay. Cheers.
Your favorite part of the podcast when both of us are coughing into the mic.
The part where I hope that you're sitting at a red light with your windows down with it on full blast.
Literally. So let's move on to some current events.
Yeah.
A lot has happened in the last couple weeks since we've been off. The last time we spoke about Kanye.
Yeah.
And all the crazy things he said, and things have escalated since then. A lot of brands have dropped him. Adidas, most notably Balenciaga, cut ties.
Dude, I'd like to say something about that too, because I saw somebody's hot take on Twitter about that.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the clip of him saying, Adidas can't drop me. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Right. So somebody was like, I feel like he is trying to get out of, because he's talked about how some of the deals are like constricting to him. Basically, this person was like, I think Kanye orchestrated this. I think that he did some of this on purpose to get out of these contracts.
I've heard that hot take, and I will raise you a secondary hot take.
Okay.
He went to Skechers a couple days later.
Yes.
And was kicked out of the corporate office.
Yeah. Could you imagine? They said he just showed up by himself.
Skechers didn't want him.
And you know what? That disproves that theory in general, because if he just went and looking for exactly. And he went looking for another deal right away. So there is something I do want to talk about and like kind of like weigh in on a little bit.
And it's this disparity where there's kind of a line in the sand, and there's people on one side and there's people on the other. I'm on this side over here. But there's people on the other side of the sand, and I totally understand where they're coming from on this viewpoint. But they're saying he could say all the crazy shit he wants to about Black people.
Yeah.
Which is a community he is part of.
Okay?
Right. He can say whatever he wants about them, and people don't cancel
him.
And he has. He said slavery was a choice. Like, he said he said George Floyd died from an overdose, not from a knee on his neck. He said a lot of really abhorrent, disgusting, and should be held accountable things. However, the community that needs to hold him accountable for those things, doesn't have a ton of power in society, if you look at it. And so that's one thing that they say, like, even if we held him accountable, it's not going to stop any deals. It's not going to stop this. And I want to know, like, if people really just stopped buying Yeezys, like, that would be a problem for him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is because I get what you're saying as far as like Black people not having a ton of political power, a ton of, as far as those, like, I mean, we're talking about these billion-dollar companies. It's just almost all fucking white people. But everyone's value, the most value that every person exactly, it's their dollar. And
as a consumer, you can change the way brands and people behave.
But that requires, what's the word? Participation from the masses.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's really hard to get everyone on the same page, because half these people look at him as a fucking genius. The other half look at him as a fucking menace. And it's just like, there's so much. Everyone remembers the old Kanye, and that's part of the fucking problem.
I miss the old Kanye.
But something that I've had a really, 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 really huge issue with is people kind of being like, yo, he shouldn't have said that stuff. But look at the repercussions, and you can see he was kind of onto something. Because they're basically implying that because he started talking about Jewish people, the Jewish people who are in charge of everything canceled him everywhere.
Oh my God, dude.
And I just want to point out, if that's a rhetoric that you're running with, that is the same rhetoric that Hitler had. Okay? That is quite literally the reason Hitler started persecuting Jewish people, is because he thought they had too much fucking control in the country. So if you're chill with that, I just want you to know that's the guy on your team. Hitler is on your team, if that's what you're choosing to believe.
Right. If you share those sentiments, you share them with one of the most disgusting and vile people to ever exist on this planet.
Just one of the most evil people to ever walk this fucking earth.
Yeah.
So,
I totally go ahead.
It's just very dangerous rhetoric to be running around with. Like,
and we're talking about the fucking, I mean, dude, this is a group of people that's, first of all, so tiny. There's not that many
there's only
Jewish
15
people.
million Jewish people in the world.
Right.
Kanye West has 30 million Twitter followers.
Right. And also, we're talking about a community that had a blatant, I mean,
exterminization.
Yes, exactly. A fucking genocide, which there's lots of,
other
way too many.
I'm not trying to like trauma.
Right. It's the oppression, the oppression
like,
Olympics.
Like everybody has their shit. And
yeah.
I believe it's valid.
Right. I mean,
everybody,
every like community of color has been persecuted in some way.
Yes.
We're talking about 11 million people. So 6 million Jews, I think, 11 million total that were killed in the Holocaust. And this is like not even 100 years ago. This is like yesterday in terms of history.
It was in the 40s?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. World War II ended in 1945.
Okay. Yeah. So
I think that's right.
Like the 30s, 40s. I'm pretty sure. It sounds about right.
You know what? Why don't we
because the civil rights movement started in the 50s after that, because I remember a bunch of people who were formerly slaves or were trying to gain freedom fought in that fucking war. God, there's so many layers to how fucked up the situation is.
But that's the thing. It's like those people who were like, where was this fucking energy when he was talking about
fair,
black people?
It's valid. It's fair
exactly.
And it's valid. It is totally fair and valid. It is, but you cannot get mad at the Jewish community for fucking standing up for themselves. Like, truly.
But the thing is, but we can point out the disparity, like you said,
and the institutional racism that makes it more difficult for you to make changes.
Definitely, you're right.
There's just so many layers to this fucking situation. Sure. But the one thing you don't need to do is spit anti-Semitic rhetoric. You can speculate and like really look at both sides and see both sides of the coin without running around saying the things that Hitler said. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what somebody on Twitter was like, this is all oppression, prejudice in general hurts everyone.
Yes.
All groups that have ever been oppressed. It doesn't matter what kind. It's all different. What's that expression? Different side of the same coin. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. It comes from the same source, and so we have to combat all of it. Yes. But I also am like, that fucking sucks. If it was because he's been saying crazy shit about. And did you see the clip of him saying, "Now I know what it feels like to have a knee on my neck"?
Oh my
girl!
Because you lost
what the
money,
fuck
honey?
are you talking about?
Like, he's obviously on a manic episode. Like, there's no explanation for this behavior other than he's a fucking lunatic, and I don't want to believe that. Like, he needs to get back on his fucking meds if he's not on them, because this behavior is so dangerous and is creating such a dangerous mindset amongst the people who follow him. There are still people who think he's a fucking genius, and that scares me. Yeah. Like, I loved Kanye. You loved Kanye,
right? He's made,
but
some
he
great
said enough
art,
crazy things about communities that I was like, well, that's not. Once he said slavery wasn't a choice, I was like,
slavery was a choice. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
He said that.
Well, that's ew. That's kind of ew.
Yeah,
that's kind of an ew thing to say.
It's
that happened after Life of
repulsive.
Pablo.
Yeah,
after Life of Pablo, it all went downhill for him.
And I'm like, how am I going to sing? She just bleached her asshole. I'm just
literally
kidding.
He went from saying George Bush doesn't
hates black people, doesn't care about black people,
to White Lives Matter.
Right. The George Bush hates black people to White Lives Matter pipeline
is in fucking insane, bro. And I just don't like the way that he picks and chooses when he wants the community to rally behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's really fucked up of him.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like when I saw that video of him saying, now I know what it feels like to have a knee on my neck. But then you just brought up how he was like, George Floyd died because of fentanyl. I'm like, okay, so what do you actually believe. Because first of all, it wouldn't matter if George Floyd had fentanyl in his system. Just because somebody on drugs is easier to kill doesn't mean that it's okay to kill them. Pretty fucking basic common sense.
In the head, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, and it's just so, yeah, it's like crazy to see the way that people like that influence our fucking culture so much. And also, can you hear me still?
Yeah.
I thought I just unplugged myself. Oh my God. But seeing the because the other thing I was going to say or mention was how Elon Musk bought Twitter. He is officially the owner of Twitter now.
How the N-word went up 500% in use.
Right. And people try to say that it doesn't fucking matter what celebrities say. They can say whatever they want. It's free speech. It's like, dude, people like that can literally ignite a huge chain of events.
There were Nazis on the side of a freeway with a sign that said, "We agree with Kanye."
Kanye was right about the Jews.
Kanye was right about the Jews.
And dude, like,
that's your team.
What the fuck?
That's your team, though. Like, if you want to be on that team, that's your team.
Yeah. People who would turn around and literally, like, I mean, these people would do horrible things.
Speak about the horrible fucking things that they would do. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, history has a fucking list of issues.
We know what the Nazis and the neo-Nazis are capable of. So to have somebody out there that is literally promoting, because there's been also conversations about, did you see the thing about Kyrie Irving? Yes. How he basically, right. So, and I just want to differentiate between, that's definitely still not okay. I'm like, girl, why are you liking anything like that on Twitter? Mm-hmm. Or it was like a movie. But then I'm also like, there are people who freaking do something like that, where you're like engaging with something on the internet, which is not fucking good. You are still very much influencing people. But then there's also people like Kanye who are straight up like putting those words out there, straight out of your freaking mouth to millions and millions of people.
Anti-Semitic stuff.
Yeah. When also, I'm like, I didn't even know that anti-Semitic was a word that like neo-Nazis or people like that would use, because it seems to me like a word that comes from, the logical side. That's like
from
like a neo-Nazi. Yeah. Like a neo-Nazi wouldn't say that they're anti-black.
Yeah, like a racist.
Like, you know what I mean? That's
racist.
A word.
They'd be like, no,
right.
I'm a white supremacist. Or
right. No, I believe in racial. Right. It's like racial purity. But yeah, I was like, when I watched him say, I can say anti-Semitic shit, I was like, I don't feel like I've ever heard somebody that is racist use that phrasing. You know what I mean? It was weird.
It was like he was abundantly aware of what he was doing.
Or doing it for show.
Yeah.
It like doing it for like and that's classic Kanye West, doing some crazy, George Bush doesn't care about black people, doing some crazy shit just to make everybody
finish.
Right. But Beyonce had the best video of all time. Yeah. So that just, I'm like, and when we're talking about something that is so wretched and fucking horrible, like racism to any group, and he's just comfortable like saying those things, like, you really
agree. Sorry, finish that.
No, I was just I just that it's fucking you are like, you could be responsible for some really, really horrible things.
Yeah. I can agree that companies should have stepped in sooner when he was saying that outlandish shit about his own community, though.
Yeah.
I really do believe that people have a valid critique there. I think that is a completely valid critique. And I do agree that he should have been held accountable a long fucking time ago. A long time ago. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I've never bought any Yeezy products. I don't buy his albums. I don't support him financially in any kind of way. And I just wish more people were on that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It also helps that I think everything he designs is fucking ugly.
I know a lot of people do. I mean, I never got into any of it. I never wanted to spend any.
It's like a demented croc, bro. Like, why?
A demented croc. Yeah.
It's like a croc on steroids. Like, for who? Oh, shoot. Oh. We haven't asked 2G1B.
Wait, can I please really quick go pee? before.
Yeah,
we
you
do
can
this.
definitely go pee.
Okay, BRB.
Out of 10. I will keep them entertained with the sound of my voice. Did anything interesting happen to me recently? I went shopping yesterday, guys. I bought some new clothes. I'll have a really cute. Honestly, guys, check out my content that I've been releasing recently on every platform. I'm doing it everywhere. Go watch it. I need the views. It's so discouraging to upload content and have nobody watch it. Oh, you sent us a current event too, Dev. I messed up. Our producer is like doing great things today, and I've dropped the ball. But it did take us a while to speak about Joy's little incident. Oh my gosh, did you see this? This is on the pipeline on WeTube, and Dev, I'm speaking to you. You don't have to respond, but how fucking cool is that makeup look?
Sick as fuck.
Yeah,
As fuck.
We'll do this gal right here, Adele.
Hi, Mac and Joya. My name is Adele. Missed you guys last week on the podcast, but in honor of Halloween, I was wondering what y'all's favorite Halloween costume was as a child. If you dressed up, what was your favorite costume? Just let us know. I'm seshing on a blue dream card.
Oh, big rips only. She looks so cute. She has like a little costume on too. Okay, you know yours. I don't know mine. Go ahead.
I was the same thing from age like 4 to 11. Yeah,
No
every
way.
year. Wait, will you try to guess what it was? Please.
princess.
This is a bitch. Keep going. Try
And was it a
again, bitch.
princess?
No, and arguably on another end of the spectrum from princess.
Dinosaur.
Bitch. You're so annoying. I was a witch.
Okay.
Every year for like almost my entire elementary school, I just wanted to be a witch the whole time. My mom was like, eventually I went, because once I started dressing slutty, then I became something else.
At the age of 12.
Yes, girl. At the age of 12, I put on a fucking football jersey and some tiny little shorts and some Converse and called it a day. Yeah. That's definitely, and maybe it was baseball jersey because I think my brother had baseball jerseys. But yeah, once I started like, showing a little skin, then I wasn't a witch anymore. But up until then, every year.
LOL.
So
I don't really know if I have a favorite, so I'll just go through and I'll name the ones that I had.
okay.
When I was a little baby, my parents didn't have a ton of money, so they would like recycle costumes. And so every costume that my brother was, I was at one point. So
Oh, how cute.
Yeah. So they had like the Winnie the Pooh family. And so
Yeah.
I was Eeyore and I was Tigger.
That's so cute.
And then Caleb was never Eeyore. My brother was never Eeyore. He was Tigger. And then I grew and I put on the Tigger suit one year. But the Eeyore suit was just an exclusively me thing.
Cute.
And then my brother was Cat in the Hat one year when I was Tigger. And so the next year I was
You were Cat in the Hat? Cute.
Yeah. And then...
Damn, that's so fire. Your parents only had to buy like
Yeah,
it was like maybe like
they found
one
ways to save
costume per.
money. They said
Yeah.
1999. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Fucking capitalism.
But if we can use it
reason.
4 years in a row, 1999 sounds pretty dang good.
It's fucking
Yeah.
$5 a year, you know? Who
Right.
can be mad at that.
That's funny.
One time in like middle school is like basically when my parents stopped letting me dress up. So my last costume was like a retro flapper.
For religious reasons? Or because they didn't want to buy costumes?
I think they were concerned about me dressing up like a little slut like you.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so they didn't let me go trick-or-treating. They didn't let me wear costumes. They were just like, you're staying inside and handing out candy. But when I moved to California, I remember wearing... I was an army person one year.
Cute.
Like, literally, like, had the face paint. I was
Yeah.
running around like I was tactical. I was a
That's
fucking
funny.
weenie. And then I was like, yeah, that retro flapper, which is just like a dancer from like the 50s or something.
Yeah, with a little fringe.
Or the 20s, I don't know. Yeah, that has like the little fringe,
me neither.
all that.
Yeah. That's really cute. I'm so sad. It makes me sad that literally people our age, like upper 20s, lower 30s, is like that we grew up just before everything was, on photo and video. I barely have any pictures from when I was a kid. Like, I just don't. They have more from when my siblings were younger because their dad was into camera stuff. So he was more like, there's this one video of my brother fucking trying to jump a ramp on his bike, and he fucking falls and it just goes, the seat goes straight up into his nuts. That's one video that I do remember, family video that I remember seeing.
You said it's my favorite video.
Yeah, so it's stuck in my fucking head, let me tell you. And that was my mean brother too. That was the brother that was like my meanest. I used to rank them nicest to meanest, and he was the meanest always. So I loved watching that. But it's like, I'm like, I wish I would love to see little Mac Dizzle in a freaking Tigger costume. And
my parents took a ton of pictures when I was younger. I have a baby book.
I have not seen child photo. Like, I can't picture you as a child. I don't think I've ever seen photos of you as a kid.
Okay,
no joke.
I'm gonna have to bring some on.
Yeah,
podcast next week so you can show
please
them what I look like as a little baby. No, yeah, they have pictures from me from like birth to like till I stopped living at the house,
Is it like a big box? Is it like a big box?
No,
of like...
it's literally a photo album. Like, they put
an album
pictures into the book.
Okay,
so like you just flip the pages and it's all of that. My parents took a ton of pictures. My mom always we always had cameras around the house. Like, that's probably how I got into doing what we're doing now, is because I had access to cameras. Like, I remember for sign language, we had to do a school project where you could like make a video or you could perform the song live, but you had to interpret a song for the project. And so I did a video, and she kept the project both years that I did it, like used it to show future classes. That's like my crowning achievement in high school. That was like my biggest goal, was to be one of those students that, like, they show you like the project. This is like one that I kept from last year. You can see what she did. It's really good. And
here's a great example. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So that was
me. Well, yeah, she's a creator for sure.
I probably got into it because like that the very first time I ever filmed myself and edited a video myself, I was 14, 15.
It's it's funny is a lot of the kids now, a lot of the younger YouTubers have been filming.
Oh my God, they've been filming themselves since they were 9.
Yeah.
Since they had like, what do you mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I love is those videos of like little girls, or I mean any gender of children, making dances and filming themselves, like choreography. I'm like, yes. Oh my God, I love to watch those.
I uploaded my very first YouTube video when I was like 16. It's been removed because it was like we did like a music video to this song, Stacy's Mom.
Oh
Stacey's
yeah.
Mom. It was really good. It got like I think it got like a couple thousand views. I was like very like, I'm famous.
Oh my God.
With my 2,000 views. But it's been everything that I ever uploaded on YouTube. I uploaded my sign language project on YouTube too. And it's all been removed for like the music
copyright
in the background. And I'm just like, boo, bring it back.
I know, it's lame. It's funny. Speaking of like first time we uploaded anything onto YouTube, the first time I did was in a class when I was a freshman. I took a science class over summer, and they send you like a kit to do the experiments, and I had to film myself doing the experiments and post them on YouTube. And that's why my YouTube channel is my like school email.
Oh my God,
it's like
my the same one. You are hilarious.
Honestly, I think it might still be on there, like hidden.
Please upload it and just be like,
oh my
I found
God,
this video from when I was in high school.
No, I was in college.
Okay,
I was in college. But I was, I was 18, turning 19. I was still very much a child.
Baby G.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like right when I met you. You were 19
yeah.
when I met you.
I was.
Just
yep,
turned
exactly.
19.
Right. That was like the beginning of that. It was like January, I think, that we met. After I turned 19. I know. We're so old now. It's crazy.
I'm about to turn 30 in 15 days.
I know. Happy Scorpio season, by the way.
Happy Scorpio season. Do you want to finish this episode out with a bong rip?
Would love to.
Gorgina.
Would love
Thank you
nothing
for that
more.
question. I think her name was Adele. I'm not sure how to pronounce
Adele
it.
Del Val. I totally
Adele
know
Del
who you're
Val.
talking about. Adele Del Valle. It might be Del Valle. It might be Del Valle. But it's Del Valle. But yeah. Adele, thank you very much for your question. And if you want your question to be featured, you listener, let's listen in right now. Go to Pipeline. Get on fucking Pipeline. If you're not, look, I don't know how much more we could do for you. Okay.
What
because
do you want?
Right. It's fucking lit over there. So come on, Pipeline. And if you want your question to be featured on our podcast, post it on there with the hashtag Ask2G1B. That's how. What are you doing? Oh, Chi-Chi. Oh, Chi-Chi, baby. I'm like, are you like pretending to put your arm around somebody? Is there someone there with you?
No, I was pointing at
that
the
I don't know
face.
about. He's cute. I can still see his little face. Okay. Right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wonderful. I also had a funny story to tell you this week that I'm going to save for next week. Obviously, we're done now. But, yeah.
God, I'm mad. All right, fine.
So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and remember that if you aren't stoned, I'm going to shit rainbows into your mouth.
Yes, and don't forget, bitch. Love you.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.